Good morning. Welcome to the October 16th, 2024 Board of Sanitary Commissioners meeting for the Muncie Sanitary District. I hope everyone's well. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask if you'll rise if able and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. No excused absences. We have all 5 commissioners present today. Therefore, we have a quorum, and we'll proceed with the agenda as published. First off on the agenda today, we'll take public comment. Anybody wishing to address the board may approach the podium. Please state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes. Seeing no interest in the auditorium today, we'll take that as a compliment. We'll move on. We have consideration of our October 2nd public hearing meeting minutes. These were published and distributed by Maggie previously. Thank you. Nice job as always, Maggie. Any discussion or corrections? Otherwise, I would accept a motion to approve the public hearing minutes from October 2nd.
So moved. Second.
A motion from Tim, second by Adam. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Any abstentions? Meeting minutes are approved and will be posted following the meeting. Next on the agenda is from the same day on October 2nd, our regular board meeting minutes. Same thing there with Maggie, previously distributed. Nice job. Any comments or corrections? If not, accept a motion to approve the meeting minutes as submitted by Maggie.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Adam, second by David. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Any abstentions? Those meeting minutes are approved. We'll move directly into our register of claims. This meeting, they total $579,358.04. These were also sent out previously with some explanation. Appreciate that. Anybody wishing to clarify any of these claims today for the benefit of the public? I have a couple I will do. East Central Recycling on page 2. I've pointed this out the last couple of meetings, $38,291.35. So that's household disposal in the street department and parks department as we dump things there. Also up on that same page at the top under gas and oil, it's the third quarter, I believe, CNG fuel station that we have over on Centennial for the sanitary district, $34,828.27. Going to page 4, under fuels, oils, and chemicals, we paid Corrigan a total of $6,946.87 in this claim. Also right under that is probably one of the last levy mows. It's mow number 12. Maybe there's going to be another one. Maybe it's already been done and we haven't seen the claim yet, as well as cleanup of the levee that had to be done before the mowing. After some of those storms came through, we had some debris. Total there, 2 coops is $19,500. That's $14,500 for the regular mowing and $500 for a cleanup that was done. And then if you'll look, let's go to page 7, down towards the bottom under other services and charges. Specialty Earth Sciences, we have some remediation work that's been ongoing out the waste pollution control facility. That claims $50,842.80. We also have in that same bucket there some ongoing flow monitoring for GRIP, by GRIP, $5,796. I'll ask Rick when he gets up here how long that's going to go on. Next page on page 8. Randolph Farms, we had our sludge tipping fee from the waste pollution control facility, $12,243.97. And I think, at the bottom, I'll just point this out. We recently changed our credit card strategy to where somebody using a credit card is paying the fees. You recall those were quite high in the past, and those transaction fees have dropped to, looks like the invoice to iCloud was $6,873, so that's a huge reduction. It's a good cost savings that we had there. We also, if you look on page 10, we purchased a trailer a sure track trailer. I don't know, is that a dump trailer, Tom? It's just a regular trailer. Equipment trailer, thank you, $12,300. At the bottom of that page is an important claim under other services and charges, the Indiana State Board of Accounts. I believe I gave a report on that maybe a month ago. There were 0 findings for the Muncie Sanitary District again. Really proud of all the work that's been done there by the group. However, we still have to pay the State Board of Accounts, and that bill was $13,810.13. I think that's it for me. That's quite a bit. Anybody else want to point out any of the claims? If not, I accept a motion to approve the claims as submitted.
So moved. Second.
A motion by David, second by Adam. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Any abstentions? Those claims will also be posted following the meeting. Next, we have an update from our district administrator, Rick Conrad.
Good morning.
Morning.
Rick Conrad, District Administrator. I got a few traffic items. We'll have some intermittent closures at Charles and Mulberry until the end of the week. Godman is closed from Tillotson to Harvey. It is expected to open Friday. And we've got some lane restrictions at Hackley and Kirby that are going to be going on this afternoon or tomorrow as we work on some manholes in that area. Yesterday morning, we had a chance to meet with our Citizens Advisory Committee to discuss the future plans of the long-term control plan. This meeting went really well. We were basically discussing our plans for the next 7 to 10 years to address combined sewer overflows. This is our mandate from IDEM. Quite a bit of money involved, quite a bit of projects involved. It was really good, though, to get a chance to go over that with the public, make sure that they understand what our plan is. And we are also going to plan some public hearings here in the auditorium so that other members of the public who might be interested get a chance to get that same information and comment on it as well. Those dates are to come, not set yet. Some smaller items, will be mowing the storm basin here in the next few weeks. That needs to be done at least once a year. We have just recently cleaned the canal downtown. The Bureau of Water Quality, they just received a grant from the Ball Brothers Foundation in the amount of $50,000 to support their ongoing mussel propagation program. The program is now basically completely funded through grant work. And we also utilize it as an education center for the public. And it sounds like that's getting quite a bit of use from all sorts of local groups that are interested in either the treatment plant or what water quality is doing or just what's happening in the White River. But it's good to see that that's busy and being used. The leaves still seem to be mostly clinging to the trees, so we'll be at least another week before we start our leaf pickup. Those will be announced either here at the board meeting or on Facebook, so keep an eye out for those. And then you mentioned the grip meters. So we had a sort of a surprise overflow of a manhole on the north side of town that connects to Royerton. And we have now installed meters to try and determine where the problem is coming from and to what extent before we begin repairs. We're sort of anticipating we may be approaching the $1 million range to address fixes. What we need really is one really heavy rain, so could be a while, or it may happen in the next few weeks. We just need to make sure that we catch it. Once we do, then we can take those meters out and we'll have a good idea of how to address this problem. So with that, if there are any questions on that or anything else, I'd be happy to field them.
Thanks, Rick. Aaron, comments or questions?
None, thank you.
Tim?
This is a random question, so if you don't know, that's certainly okay. But Ball State University, do they partner with the Mussel Project at all?
Ball State, not as far as funding. We've not received any funding from Ball State. I don't think they have a professor or program that's directly interested in the mussels, we do communicate with them quite a bit, the biologists. So we do have classes coming on a regular basis. They go to the treatment plant, they go to water quality.
Okay.
But as far as if the question is about funding, we don't receive any funding from Ball State.
Okay, thank you.
Adam?
No comments.
David?
No questions. Thank you, Rick.
So the grip meter, that's 350 north out
50
there.
north, right.
Historically, would we see any real heavy rains here towards the end of the year? And the purpose of my question is I wonder if we should pull it rather than paying this on a regular basis and put it back in the spring when we know that there's going to be a rain coming, so we don't pay for this during the snowy season and things like that.
We could certainly consider it. It was part of our, so what happens is when this pipe overflows, it's basically leading to sewage getting into this ditch. And it was part of our
Agreement.
way to address it with IDEM, who wanted to make sure we were keeping an eye on the project. So part of this is also to make sure that they are aware and agree that we are taking this seriously and are going to address it.
And monitoring a known overflow
Correct,
situation.
yeah.
I understand. Yeah, it just seems silly, not silly rules, but man, $5,400 a month for the next several months, and it's not
Could
going
be.
to rain. Also, how's the vehicle ID project going and getting GPS on all of our vehicles?
I'm not sure if we've completed, I think we had one department that was working on it still. I don't know that they've made progress with the installation, but it's been paid for. If you can't hear, the units are all in. They're not all necessarily installed yet, but they're all in now.
Okay, yep, and congratulations on the grant. I don't know who applied for that, but good job, congratulations. I think that's important work out there. I don't believe the public realizes how important that program is to measuring the health of the river. So, good job, thanks.
Thank you.
We do not have a department head update today. Under old business, we don't have anything listed. Anyone on the board like to bring up any old business? Aaron,
I do not have any, Mr. President.
Tim,
Not today.
Adam,
No.
David?
No, not today.
None for me either. Under new business, we have one item on the agenda today. It's resolution number 2024-16. This is an amendment to the personnel policy handbook, also being presented by Rick.
Resolution 2024-16 would make a number of changes to Section 4 in the Sanitary District's handbook. I'll go through these briefly here. The first one is going to change the wording for a particular use of sick leave bank by employees. This is a change that was actually made earlier in the year, but based on some feedback from department heads and office managers, they wanted the wording clarified so that it read a little more clearly. So this will address that. We are also now going to be limiting the donation of sick leave time to fellow employees to 80 hours per FMLA qualifying event. So employees do have the option to donate their own sick leave bank to others who may be in need, but this would be to apply a limit to that so it does not end up being an unending absence. Another change was related to workers' compensation. In instances where a workers' comp injury requires an employee to be out of work, this should also qualify as an FMLA event. This is pretty standard practice with most businesses and is something really we just needed to clean up to make sure that it was clear in our handbook. And then finally, from talking with our legal counsel, it was recommended that we make some changes to more accurately address requirements from the ADA. These mostly have to do with spelling out that the district will provide reasonable accommodations for people with disabilities, whether they're permanent or temporary. This is a legal requirement. It just now says it more clearly in the handbook.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Comments or questions from the board? Aaron?
No comments.
Tim?
I just appreciate the disability language being added.
Adam?
Yeah, just kind of to Rick's point, this is not a punitive measure against our employees. It's really recommended by our legal counsel to reduce our general liability and or ghost employment, wherein employees could essentially game the system that was set up in goodwill to, allow donations. But with the amount of time our employees accrue, either through vacation or their own personal accruals, it would be theoretically possible for an employee that was sufficiently well liked that they could solicit donations for forever under the system as it was. We basically had to nip that in the bud, unfortunately. So that's, once again, not a punitive measure. We just have to limit our liability, and we do expect our employees to work and be respectful of their employment. That's all I have.
Thanks, Adam. David?
I have nothing to add, thank you.
Rick, the department heads are in support of all these changes?
Yes, they've all reviewed everything, and department heads are in support, yes.
Okay. If there's any further discussion, let's have it now. Otherwise, I would accept a motion to approve Resolution 2024-16 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Adam, second by Aaron. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Any abstentions? Resolution's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Any other new business, Aaron?
Nothing additional.
Tim?
Not today.
Adam?
No.
David?
No.
Any additional board topics, Aaron?
Nothing additional.
Tim?
No.
Adam?
Yep. Just will, per usual, just give a little shout out. So it's currently budget time, and even though Dina's not here, she's putting in the work on that, and she makes department heads walk the line and somehow keeps Rick also in line, and was more than happy to tell commissioners, if there is or is not money. So she's a real asset, and her team, kind of keeps the wheels on with finance and keeps the bills paid. So we appreciate all that Dina and her folks do for us.
Thanks, Adam. David?
And nothing to add, thank you.
I kind of have a question for Adam. At our last discussion, we talked about along Macedonia. The sanitary district had done some work out there, and now we need to restore that ADA ramps. Can you update the rest of the board on that?
Yeah, we've asked Bowen to provide a price proposal for it, since they're fairly good at this type of work and have done quite a bit of it on Hoyt recently. We have some contract space available for that. Typically, per our patching agreement, which was really supposed to be, mostly asphalt and a little bit of sidewalk work, Public Works would kind of handle it, but this is 19 individual ADA ramps.
19.
It's just it's about a bit outside of our scope with our normal work. So, doing a panel, doing a patch, that's not a big deal, but this is a, full-on capital project, and we see prices in the range of about $4,000 per ADA ramp, so it's not small dollars either.
Okay, thank you. Also, as Rick mentioned, the leaves haven't quite let go, so they're going to be coming soon. So I'm asking the public to help us try to keep the storm drains clean as those do come down. In case there is a rain, it'll help us prevent some flooding. Also, the McCullough lift station, where that work is now complete and been commissioned and up and running to the best of my knowledge. I got a head nod there. Let's see. Sanitation, the trash pickup, we're working on a rerouting plan there. I know we haven't actually started it. I'm just letting the public know that, in the future, there could be a change to the trash routes. We're looking for some increased efficiencies there, so just starting to socialize that concept that your trash routes may change and your day may change, but again, just putting it out there. I'm probably months and months ahead of ourselves here, but I'd rather be too early than not early enough. Also, I'd like to talk about something that the board is considering as far as final bills that come to the sanitary district. Everybody knows that the sewer bill is based on the water bill, and when somebody moves, in particular a renter, they pay their water bill, and then they move across town and they start another water bill, and then they don't pay their sewer bill, their last sewer bill. So as a result, we have a very large balance of past due and liens, and I'll just give you guys some statistics from September 24th, which is the last update I have. Our past due amount to the Muncie Sanitary District of 90 days and over is $1.74 million. It's a lot of money. And in liens, we have $1.17 million in liens. So one of the things we're considering doing as a board is when somebody starts an account with the Muncie Sanitary District is asking them to pay a deposit equal to 1 month's worth of septic, processing. And then what would happen on the tail end is that deposit would go to pay their last bill, and then we wouldn't get stuck with no payment of the last bill. And this is all in an effort to try to work down these past dues. It's not a secret that we just had to raise our rates here recently, and we're sitting on, $1 million of collectibles. So we need to work hard on getting those things collected and try to minimize any rate increases in the future. Also for the board, our salary resolutions will probably come at our next meeting. We've got a heads up brief in our packet there. And other than that, I don't have any other updates. Our next meeting will be in 2 weeks, Wednesday, October 30th, right here in City Hall Auditorium, 11:30 a.m. I would accept a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Adam, second by David. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Meeting's adjourned. Everyone have a safe day.